You're with Joshua Simon and Kimberly Tan, and in this boy, are we all gonna learn something. We're gonna be different by the end of this hour because of our special guest. And we know it's gonna be special because I don't even know how to introduce Sherry Jiang. Like, I just know her as AI person, but she's a human.
She's a human, yeah, she's not fake, she's not an AI bot.
Yeah, but she knows about AI things and she involves herself in the AI. And Sherry, how would you explain what you do?
Yeah, for sure. So, first and foremost, I am actually a startup founder and builder in the AI space. After I left my job at Google, I think now, 5 years ago, I built a lot of products in the consumer space using AI to help people do things like manage money better. But what I realized, what I enjoy doing as a step above that is actually enabling other people to build as well, because I'm actually someone who didn't know how to code with AI. I was actually in a product role, but after all these tools came out, including Cursor, which allows you to be able to build products using just human language, I just got addicted to it.
We need to talk about this, okay? Because literally just yesterday, I was on a call with someone who was helping me to develop my website. He was talking to the AI to get the AI to code for me, so he wasn't even doing it.
Yeah.
And also, I'll be honest with you, Sherry, you're very pretty. And I thought AI person, AI expert
You are terrible.
was going to be some like mad scientist.
You're terrible.
Who has like a massive ball spot. And
Hey,
then just like,
AI engineers look in all different shapes and forms these days, you know?
You look so cool. And what's even cooler is the challenge which Sherry says she will be able to take on.
So I cannot believe that you agreed to this. Sherry says 24-hour hackathon, that's too long. You're going to build something in an hour? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Okay. So if you can hear us right now, WhatsApp us 88550920. We're looking for people to send us your ideas on what you want to build, an AI app that you would build.
Okay, we're gonna choose one and Sherry's gonna build it, or as they say, you're gonna cook.
Yeah, what does that mean?
Well, you just put it in the oven and you just let it cook.
I love that.
You let it vibe, because nowadays, like, we're all very lazy as engineers because we don't have to write the lines of code. AI does it for you.
All right, more with Sherry Jiang in just a bit. You're with Joshua Simon, Kimberly Tan, and with us on the show, our special guest is Sherry Jiang, who has agreed to a challenge of ours, okay? We're now going to pitch all of your app ideas, and Sherry is going to make it happen. She's going to bring it to life.
On the spot, by the way. So we promise you by the end of this interview, you will have your app built. So let's go to the WhatsApps. So this one, I think you need an AI to figure out what this guy wants because he just sent one word. He said the app that he wants is just FIFA.
Like football stuff?
Yeah, like football stuff.
FIFA. I mean, you're leaving a lot to the imagination for AI around what that could be.
It's just going to generate an image of a football.
Yeah,
That's
just
it,
one giant football.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Kai asks, can you build an app that tells me where the nearest good nasi lemak is?
Specifically just nasi lemak.
Just nasi lemak,
Yeah.
and specifically where that person is.
Yeah, and it has to be good. But like, how do you
okay.
even define what good nasi lemak
I mean, I don't know if AI has had a taste of it to be
that's
able
true,
to
that's
be
true.
discerning.
I like this one from Jerry. This is pretty cool, actually. Jerry says that he loves true crime. Can you ask the AI to take the details from real true crime stories and put it into a game that he can play?
Oh, wow.
That's cool, huh?
Okay. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's pretty
That
cool.
could happen.
Do you play the victim or do you play the perpetrator?
Good question.
Okay, but I think the winning one has to be Drew. Because this app idea will save all of us a lot of time and energy. Can you build me an app called How to Reply My Boss? Because I don't know how to actually WhatsApp my replies to my boss when he asks me for overtime, or if he asks, hey, can you work over the weekend or cover someone when I really just want to be at home. Navigating actually emails and WhatsApps can be quite stressful. How to reply my boss?
Can I tell you this, right? So there was once, I do remember a time where a boss texted me and asked me to come in 2 hours before a shift was supposed to start. So this person was ill. It's not their fault, but our boss was like, can you come in now?
Yeah.
And, to be honest, I'm not doing anything. I wasn't working. I wasn't out doing anything. But I was like, not really. I don't really want to do that in 2 hours' time. Right? So that's tough because you don't really have a good reason to say no, but you want to say no. Can you code an app that can do that?
Yeah, for sure. And you know what? I'm going to start by just using voice and
Okay.
just yapping
You can
to
talk
app.
to the
You can
robot?
talk to it, yeah.
Wow.
So I'll be like, helped me build an app called How to Reply My Boss, which helps me navigate situations with my boss that are tricky, like when they ask me for overtime, or they tell me to come into work last minute when someone can't make it, or they give me extra work that I don't want to do. Come up with a few scenarios and help me come up with good replies to them.
Sherry says boss with a hard B.
All right, don't go anywhere. More with Sherry Jiang, and we are going to bring this app to life for you. You're with Joshua Simon, Kimberly Tan, and our special guest is Sherry Jiang, who's still cooking. Don't worry, there's no appliances in the studio. Okay, it's cooking is an AI term.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, she's building the app that Drew wants us to build, which is
How to reply to your boss when he asks, he or she, bosses can be she,
Yeah.
if he or she asks you to do something that you don't want to do. So that's
Okay.
what the app is going to do, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And we'll see what it looks like hopefully soon.
Nice.
Yeah, so it's coding itself. But in the meantime, let's get to know Sherry a little bit more, right? And let's just start with the zeitgeist of AI, right? Because to me, it felt like a couple of years ago, everyone was like, AI is the enemy. Don't get involved. Don't go near it. It's going to destroy everything. Even the term which you were part of, hackathon, like hacking was known as such a bad thing,
Right.
especially in the 90s, early 2000s. And now it's like, hey, let's go for a hackathon. Like AI can be very useful. We're
Yeah,
doing all
yeah.
these seminars and conferences, and you guys are like the coolest people in the world. What changed?
Yeah. I think that people started to see how it can be relevant in people's daily lives, and that it's not this thing where it's just a bunch of nerds trying to come up with ideas that don't really feel relevant, but everyday people who are not even necessarily like traditional engineers can actually build solutions that help them. So some of the stories I like to share from our hackathons and build events are when you see someone who's 13 years old, building an app that helps give him some fitness coaching advice using AI, because I guess at that time you have a lot more time to work out maybe than when you're an adult, and that's pretty cool. And we've also seen people build interesting ideas. This is very maybe a kind of Singapore specific thing, but there's a hackathon project that won the Google Prize where someone built something called Dr. Auntie. Dr. Auntie. So essentially his problem statement was that if let's say you have a parent who needs to take vitamins, right? And you want to get on top of it for them, but they don't want to listen to you tell them. So then you create this AI video that you can text in WhatsApp that basically is Dr. Auntie that tells you hey, scolds you. You should take your
Excuse
vitamin
me.
B.
Yeah, hello. You
Someone
must
is-
take your vitamin B4.
They're
Yeah,
scamming
pretty
their
much.
own parents.
Yeah.
And that won at Google.
Yeah.
So funny.
I want to
Yeah.
get involved.
Right? That is so funny. Okay, so I want to ask you about I suppose the difficult side of AI,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So what Josh was saying earlier, a lot of people are worried in terms of replacing people for jobs. You've got creatives, right, who are
Yeah.
worried about that with the art and the copyright and things like that. How do you feel about it working in this space?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think that some of the concerns are obviously valid, right? It is the case that some of the more repeatable work that, graphic designers or software engineers have been doing are starting to get more and more automated. But I think while there is pain in the short term or maybe some transition, I think in the long term, it actually unlocks a level of creativity that we may not necessarily have had the time to spend doing it, right? If 90% of our brain is executing things that are step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, we're not leaving the room to answer the question of the why we're doing something, right? So in a way, it's it could actually, over the long term, help unlock more creative ideas because you get to do the things that actually are much more human, right?
I mean, when you had the hackathon in October last year, firstly, thousands of people signed up
Yeah.
and the room could only hold, 400 people?
Yeah.
And I was looking at the article that was written about this hackathon, right? So people of all ages, I mean, senior citizens, people in their 60s are
Yeah.
coding. So that's crazy to me because I would imagine people in the 60s have no idea what's going on. They know. The kid, like you said, in his teens, right? He was
Yeah.
13 or 14 and he was coding. It's really remarkable what's happening.
It's these same 60-year-olds that once told me don't play Tetris.
Exactly.
But now they're coding. Right, more with Sherry in just a bit. I want to understand how AI is going to be embraced even by the Singapore school system. More on that in just a bit.
You're on the Owls with Joshua Simon and Kimberly Tan right now. Tonight, a special guest, Sherry Jiang, AI extraordinaire. You have something cooking in your AI oven right now. What's happening?
So right now, it's writing some code. I'm not touching anything, and I know it looks like a bunch of maybe gibberish right
My
now.
goodness.
It looks like the Matrix, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, right?
yeah.
But I can tell you what it's doing is it's actually adding in a bit of the styling. So whenever you look at an app and you're like, oh, I like the colors on it, right? If you look at Spotify, you like the green. That's styling. So it's actually creating some of that right
Like
now.
the design sense?
The design.
Wow.
The last thing I read is it's creating some scroll indicator, so scrolling up and down. So code actually, I mean, we don't have time to do it now, but it's plain English. So you can kind of track to see like how the AI is actually thinking.
I mean, you say that because you understand what's happening. I'm looking at your screen. It looks like hieroglyphics to
Hey,
me.
2 years ago, I didn't know any of this. So.
So if you just
Yeah.
tuned in, what's happening is at the start of the hour, we were looking for app ideas, okay? And we're going with Drew's idea. So Drew says, can you build us an app where we will learn how to reply our bosses, okay, when they ask us for ridiculous requests, okay,
Yeah.
like asking us to come back on a weekend to work, that kind of thing, like how to reply politely, but to also say no.
Yeah.
Okay, so essentially we're making the app right now. So before Sherry leaves, we'll actually have a full app, which we can release to the public, but not yet until I speak to my lawyer.
And
Because
you're
I want
charging
that-
$9.99,
Yes,
right?
I want the
Yes,
money. I want the
Yeah.
money at the end of it. Okay, Sherry, I recently heard about how the education in Singapore, we're starting to embrace AI. Rather than fear it. And I teach a little bit on the side at Neon. I teach film analysis. And to be honest, sometimes it's hard to grade these assignments because we don't know how much of it are our students' thoughts or how much of it was just write me a report on the Matrix. Yeah, so that was the fear. But now it's like, hey, no, we don't know how to fight this thing anymore. Actually, no, we're embracing it. We're going to start using it. How?
Like, how do I think about
Yeah.
it? Yeah, I mean, the thing is, what AI does not replace is human judgment and creativity, right? Like, when I look at even the products that people build, you can have access to the same models and the same tools, but you can see some wildly creative and interesting things because it just embodies what that person's perspective is and what they can bring to the world, right? So, I mean, just to give some examples, some of the coolest projects I've seen are when people can combine their ability to use AI to code and in a specific domain. So I saw one project where someone who's an architect actually used AI to analyze a bunch of these documents to look at diagrams and everything and see what kind of code violations or risks could be there. That is so cool, right?
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I can't make that because I don't really know architecture. I'm not familiar with that, but they're able to kind of bring that to the table. And so that human element really is still quite there. AI is just a tool.
I mean, I love that AI is a tool, right? And I'll be honest with you, like even when you brought up architecture, so I recently bought a house, and I'll be honest with you, like so much of the house, AI was like a friend. It didn't decide everything for me. So like when it came to choosing the plants in the house, AI suggested birds of paradise, suggested like these plants, and I looked at it, it generated it, and end of the day, I agreed to some extent and I disagreed to some extent. Even when it says, hey, you should go with this one, I'm like, actually, no, I'm going to go with my instinct. If anything, it gave me options. It helped me to visualize it. And it actually challenged my instinct. And I went with my original instinct of, I'm going to do this and this, even if according to AI, it's not as nice, but it's nice for me. So it kind of got me to where I needed to be without like hounding my friends.
Absolutely. I just read about this. If you're listening right now and maybe you're not the biggest tech person and we're having this big AI conversation. So I just read an hour ago that there's this K-pop agency that is using AI. They want to do some sort of smart glasses thing, right? You know how Korean artists, mainly they speak in Korean. So now they want to give fans these AI glasses to translate what they're saying live at concerts. So that's sort of a way that AI can be used outside of the tech space.
Kiss 92, all the great songs in one place. You're with Joshua Simon, Kimberly Tan, and our special guest, Sherry Jiang, who at the start of the show was challenged by one of our listeners, Drew, to create an app called How to Reply My Boss.
When your boss gives you scenarios that you don't know how to say no to, but you really want to say no, like, can you come in early even though it's not your working hours? How do you respond? So how's the app doing? Has it cooked? Is it done?
Yeah, it's done. So there is a version 1 that you can actually see.
So okay, walk us through it. What's
Yeah.
on the left
Okay,
side?
so the left side, is this the right direction? Okay, yes, I got it now. So these are the scenarios. So you can see asked to work overtime.
Yep.
Last minute cover. Given extra work. Unrealistic deadline.
Yep.
Mandatory fun event. Oh my god.
Mandatory
I wanna
fun
see
event.
what they. Do you want to see what
Yes.
you should say? Okay.
So this would be one of those events where the company says it's fun, but nobody else thinks it's
Nobody
fun.
wants to go. It's like team bonding. But then you're just like, I spend way too much time with these guys. In my free time, I'd much rather be doing something else. So let's
How
see.
to reply?
So, scenario. Your boss says, we're doing a team outing this Saturday, bowling and dinner. It's technically not not technically mandatory, but it would really mean a lot if everyone showed up. You'll be there, right? So this is the answers you can give that AI said. I appreciate the invite, but I need my weekends to recharge. I'm happy to do a team lunch during work hours sometime. Would that be an option?
And then here's what's gonna happen: the boss is gonna contact you to create an app. How to reply my stuff. More with Sherry Jiang in just a bit right now. BB Rexa meant to be on Kiss 92.
Tonight we're joined by Sherry Jiang, AI extraordinaire. That's what we like to call her. So Sherry, you and your team hosted this huge hackathon last year in October, right? And I got to tell you, Josh, so I know that you're not a huge tech AI person. So let me give you the tea behind this. All these big tech companies, OpenAI, DeepMind, Anthropic, you see them on the news when you're Googling AI, right? They're competitors. It's equivalent to Apple and Samsung and whatever other phone companies. So all these competitors, for the first time in Singapore, agreed to be together in the same room for Sherry and her team's hackathon, this event that you ran. How did you get them in the same room?
I was gonna ask, how awkward was that?
Honestly, I DM'd a lot of them on social media. Like, I hyped up the Singapore builder scene. I'd be like, hey, we'd be so excited to have you guys there. Tag the CEOs, founders.
Wow.
A bit shameless, honestly, but I'm a startup founder. You kind of have to do some of that. Other folks we had some relationships with, because I've been teaching over 1,000 people how to code with AI in Singapore. And we already had Cursor and Vercel that we work with. These are two big companies in the AI space with coding. And so they're like, yeah, of course we'll agree to help support. But it was so cool because a lot of the folks coming to the hackathon were like, wow, I have never even come close to interacting with any people from these companies. And it means so much that they're not only just helping sponsor the hackathon, but they were running workshops. Someone from Google DeepMind was actually showing how to use their image models to build something. We had somebody, dial in from a database company called Convex. It's basically the LLM native database of the future. They dialed in to do a session, and people were just really excited because it just felt like, 13 workshops by the people in from the companies, teaching you how to use the tool. So it was
a really cool thing, right, for the people there. So what Josh said, was it awkward when they were there?
I think that people recognize that one of the best things you can do as a competitor is just to be good. It's like rising tide lifts all boats, right?
I hope they fight.
Sherry, I want to see them duke it out,
Sherry, before you go, for anyone who's been listening to the conversation, but leaning in, trying to increase the volume, and they're still they feel defeated. They feel they feel almost left behind, or they're looking at even the present and they're afraid to look at the future because they feel like their skill set will not be useful, because they just don't understand this AI space at all. What do you say to these people?
I would say to just be very curious and try to plug in and stay up to date with it and be around other people who are doing the same thing. And that's the entire mission behind the community that we've built as well, which we call 65 Labs. You can find us on social, 65 Labs Law. But it's really a place where it's meant to be not intimidating, right? A lot of our events, I would say 50% of people are non-traditional engineers, right? They're your stock traders at a bank that are trying to build tools that, hopefully make trading better. It's a very welcoming room, and you feel a little bit less alone when you're learning with other people, and you're also learning much faster because you're getting firsthand information just by talking to other people who are building it. So instead of sitting at home in isolation wondering what's going to happen, just go out into these spaces with each other to all navigate this world that we have no idea what's going to happen, to be honest, right? I can't say exactly what the future is going to be, but what I know is I'm going to be there for as many people as I can in these physical spaces trying to figure things out and do things together.